since Blake Lively has come out and said that Justin Baldoni's team is continuing the smear campaign, I just want to say, I am not getting paid anything from anybody. I don't know Justin Baldoni. I don't know any of his lawyers, any of his team, anybody. I just happen to have a very good intuition that has taken me very long to trust, pattern recognition, and a strong sense of standing up for what I feel is right and justice. In my comments, the women that are going hard for Blake Lively, that are literally spending so much of their time commenting and fighting and arguing, and in my comment section, when I go to their profile, it's always like just white women. And so far, that's what I've seen. So this is the majority of people that are fighting and spending a lot of their energy fighting for Blake Lively are white women. I am not a full white woman, but I am seen as a white woman, and I am given white privilege, white woman privilege, and believe it or not, when I was younger, I had pretty privilege. So I know what it's like to be privileged. And I think the thing is, when we walk around and we have a privilege that we aren't aware of because we're not really listening to anybody who's oppressed or who's telling us that we have privilege, because we don't want to see it. It's so much more convenient to walk around and assume the reason that people treat us so wonderfully is because we're a good person. And I think what may be happening for Blake Lively, because she is a Nepo baby whose parents were able to kind of buy her way into the industry. She even said herself that she couldn't sing or dance, but her parents paid for her to be front and center. And because she's a beautiful woman, a powerful woman, powerful in who she's married to, but also being a Hollywood starlet, which is, arguable about where she is on the totem pole in Hollywood, but she is power adjacent, being married to Ryan Reynolds. And I think whenever you have this lens that you are special and people treat you as so, and that is a reflection that you are getting from the environment, because the world we've lived in has been very superficial. Look who our celebrities are. We made the Kardashians billionaires. We love to watch the superficiality. Look at their bodies. Look at what they portray. That is what we valued. And now things are shifting to more of where people are beginning to kind of go off of like what they feel. Authenticity is becoming more important than what you're portraying. And I think whenever this mismatch starts to happen, where you're like, oh my God, like this, what I've relied on for so long is no longer working, it's probably infuriating for Blake. She's probably confused. And so instead of seeing the privilege and seeing her character, how she has been to people, how she's treated people in the past, instead of reflecting on that and really looking at that and taking responsibility for that, she is still digging in her heels and projecting that on to Justin and his team and the general collective, because it's like, seems like most people, the majority of people that I'm seeing, can recognize that Justin Baldoni, from what we can see, and his history, his character. I even had a girl that went to high school, started freshman year of college with him and had mutual friends that went to high school with him that backs up that he's a good guy. This goes back years, 20-something years, but you can't say the same for Blake. And I think the women who are fighting in the comments, like an amazing content creator, Bohemian. I'm going to have to, I'll tag her in the comments, but she is brilliant. She has an intuition like no other, and she is clocking this. All sorts of things. So you have to go look at her content, and her insight is so amazing. And she coined the term, "He is not your ex." A lot of the comments that I have received were like, my ex was just like this. He had everybody fooled. He acted this like he was such a good guy, and he really wasn't. And what I've said to those women is like, okay, if you knew he wasn't, you were the one who was fooled. You know what I mean? If you could see his true colors and you were in denial about it, that is on you. That is your guilt. That is your actually probably grief that you didn't honor yourself and your intuition, and you stayed with somebody and you went along with the narrative that you thought that everybody else thought about them. That is likely the projection. That's how it's supporting you right now, because it's keeping you from seeing that feeling that grief of like, I didn't listen to myself. I didn't honor myself. I didn't listen to my intuition. And so Bohemian, I think Goddess, I'm going to tag her name. I can't turn this off to go look, or I would, but I'm going to tag her. She clocked that. And I think a lot of that's what's going on. And the people who have done the work and have looked at their shadows and have kind of seen where they're projecting are seeing this with better clarity than people who haven't.